Dinosaur survival games. They're a genre of dinosaur games that got popularized in the last few decades, specifically in the late 2010s. Although their popularity has slowed down, they're still discussed and talked about in the pedosphere to this day. Opinions vary drastically between person to person, and these are their reasons. What was the first dinosaur survival game? Some people would say the Isle, others would say the Stomping Lands, but they would both be mistaken, because it's a little game on a certain platform created by a small kid that lived with his parents back in 2009, called A Dinosaur's Life. A Dinosaur's Life, created by Robert Sir 300, was a very simple Roblox game. Even though it had limitations, it was revolutionary for the time. It had over 50 playable dinosaurs, growth, and natural disasters. Yes, a Roblox game from 2009 has natural disasters. Anyway, A Dinosaur's Life established the genre, but it didn't popularize it. There were also other dinosaur survival games on Roblox, which expanded and improved on it. However, none of these games made the genre get into the public eye. It was just Roblox after all. That was until a certain game hit virtual shelves on December 1st of 2015, called The Isle. Created by Dondi, The Isle is one of the biggest dinosaur games and basically defined the entirety of the dinosaur survival game genre. Although it didn't start out as a dinosaur survival game, it was more of a human survival game with dinosaurs in it, like Dino Crisis and such. But nowadays it's 100% the poster child for the genre that every single dinosaur game takes inspiration from. Like Path of Titans, Beast of Bermuda, Saurian, and etc. and etc. Its impact is legendary, and that cannot be denied. Although it surprisingly has less features than A Dinosaur's Life, it's still important to our journey. The Isle was basically the #1 dinosaur survival game because there was nothing else to compete against it. But nowadays, many people would say otherwise.
Okay, dinosaur survival games. the thing I would say, there are top 3 dinosaur survival games. The Isle being the first, the OG, Path of Titans being kind of better, but mixed packing, not really a fan of that, but I don't really care. It's a cool game. And then Beasts of Bermuda. It's one of the worst survival games. It's my opinion. And the thing I don't like about that is its community and its like the skin customization, like neon dinosaurs. I don't like that. And just rainbow, like blue, light blue, light red, light green. I don't like that on dinosaurs. But dinosaur survival games is just a cool topic and a cool genre of like any kind of dinosaur game. And I would say that the Isle would be the best one I would pick out of the 3 because I enjoy it and I have played it for a really long time, and the community seems okay, and Path of Titans is winning on the community because I think it's the best one out there. And I would say that to the Isle. Path of Titans for me is really good, but I don't really like that they added some like dinosaurs that weren't really necessary, or creatures, and that's all for Path of Titans. And Beast of Bermuda, I would say I don't enjoy playing the game, and yeah.
The dinosaur survival games are interesting to say the least. In my opinion, they could be better. I mean, there's not a lot of doing all of them, and sometimes you get bored. And all of them are trying to be the same hardcore game, 5-hour growth time, for the full experience, right? Well, some people like that, like the Isle. That's why the Isle exists. But games like Beast of Bermuda, Capitandino, they're like copying that basically. Balance-wise also seems to be an issue in all those games, and variety is almost 0 to none in my opinion. Capitandino is hard to like because I hate the growth times in this game. Well, not really growth times, but how you grow. The Isle growth times are too long, but sometimes it's probably one of the better ones out there, especially with everyone having all the stuff it has. And then stuff like Beast of Bermuda, it's alright, and I mean, I think Primal Carnage is going to do that too, have their own survival mode. I don't know, I don't care. It's really just mixed opinions from me. And then there's a whole other genre of them on Roblox. One being Prior Extinction, which I'm sure you all know, which I think's alright. I just think they have hardcore growth times too, which shouldn't really be a thing on a Roblox dinosaur survival game. And the game passes are game passes. That's all I have to say though.
Skip it up and down.
Gameplay in these games is pretty simple. Survive as a dinosaur and grow to become stronger, and of course, you might have obstacles to stop you from surviving, like other players or sometimes the environment. Now, all of these games have the same goal: survive as a dinosaur from baby to adult. But each of these games have different characteristics from one another to make the experience more interesting for the players. For example, the Isle is just a basic growth with certain dinosaurs having different abilities from others. We'll come back to that later. Path of Titans has more quests, in-game activities, and community content. and Beast of Bermuda, which has more in-game mechanics to make the experience more fun and interesting. Now these are just 3 examples of dinosaur survival games, but as you can see, they try to add different things to differentiate things from one another, like specific dinosaur ability to give a more experience or give completely new playstyles to players. Then there are ones with new mechanics like Beast of Bermuda Skill Tree that changes gameplay completely. However, these mechanics don't change the overall basic premise of the genre. Now, fans have argued about the genre and if it's good or not. Many pointed out that dinosaurs in these games are the same old gameplays, even with certain dinosaurs having unique abilities. They all say certain things aren't handled well, like stats or even heck the growth, which is surprising knowing it's a part of the whole basic premise. Although most of these divides are caused by different people having different views on what dinosaur survival game should be. Somewhat an accurate game like Saurian, somewhat an expensive game with basic gameplay like the Isle, and the other the want insanity like Beast of Bermuda, etc, etc. Now, if human beings were actual civil creatures, I wouldn't have to mention this, but most of these communities argue about which of these games are the best. All I have to say is why.
I feel like we're in the worst timeline when it comes to these dinosaur games, because all of them are either run by wildly incompetent people that don't even know what they want their own game to be, never mind what the community wants their game to be. And the people that do seem to have some level of competence to them are just held back by the fact that only recently the genre has become so popular to other developers, so we're probably going to have to wait years for whatever game they're working on to come out, and even then there's going to be lots of restrictions because of how niche the genre actually is. I'm just personally praying for there to be a kind of switch flick in the head of one of the developers of these games, where they at least decide for themselves what they actually want their game to be. And the biggest issue with pretty much every single game in the genre right now is just performance. In one way or another, there's major performance issues. If that wasn't so prevalent, I don't think it would be so painful to put up with them, and so painful to wait for their updates, and so painful to deal with the toxic developers and all that, and the toxic community. But so you can't even just enjoy these games casually because they're so broken.
Hello, basement dwellers. I'm here to tell you my opinion that you did not ask for about the dinosaur survival game genre. So yeah, basically, how did I even discover the genre? First, when I was a little idiot, I saw Primal Carnage gameplay and I was like, finally a game where I can play as a funny dinosaur and do funny stuff. And then I discovered some shitty app games, whatever that is, I don't know. Like, you know, these shitty dinosaur simulators on Google Play? Yeah, that's what I found, and then I just played. Then I discovered the Isle, and then I went to the rabbit hole of like Prior Extinction, other shitty Roblox games, and Path of Titans and other stuff. And yeah, now I'm a very big connoisseur of the genre. Even though most of these games are very shitty, I think being a dinosaur and doing crack shit is very fun, so that's why I play these games mostly. Even though most of them have you fucking collect pinecones as a little doggo. But I don't care. It's fun.
man said so.
Better scramble like an egg before you get folded like an omelet.
Get over here!
Most dinosaur survival communities are kind of a mixed bag when it comes to behavior. Some people can be mature, some polite, civil, helpful, immature, toxic, etc., etc. These variables vary between communities, but it mostly depends on the developer's behavior. For example, Path of Titans developers are very professional and mature, so the community is also fairly mature. The Saurian devs are fairly civil, apart from maybe one or two bad apples, so the community follows somewhat suits. The Roblox dinosaur community is full of condescending, egotistical, money-hungry, toxic developers, so the community is pretty toxic, etc., etc. So we clearly see the community imprints on the developers like a parent to their child. Now, this is great if the developers are good people. However, this isn't always the case, and one of the best examples of this is the Isle. Its developers are one of the most toxic bunch out there nowadays. They aren't bad, but back in the day they were something else. This old behavior the developers had shown had caused a ripple effect on the community, causing the community to go toxic. Although this isn't the only reason the Isles became toxic. It is also because it got popularized via YouTube, and YouTube is mainly home to children. So these impressionable young children join the community, and them being kids, they start copying behavior of the developers. So the community gets even more toxic, and more kids appear, so that's why arguments like, "What's the best dinosaur survival game?" or insults like, "skill issue" happen. It's just kids that have learned to think these behaviors are okay. Now, I must clarify that not everyone in these communities aren't all toxic or argue about what's better. They might just want to have a civil and fun discussion, but most of the times it's just kids being kids. So why are these games sometimes toxic? Because of the devs and the people's behavior, which causes other people to think that is okay and act this way. But it's not always the devs' fault. It may also just be that they have some bad apples in the community that cause toxicity. It is the internet after all.
Dinosaurs are one of my most favorite kinds of animals, so much so that I've resorted to taking notes about them every now and then. Not only that, but I also enjoy watching media that represents these creatures as real animals, which developed my never-ending love for survival games. As much as I love dinosaurs, survival games as a whole may be filling to me, whether they contain creatures that don't even exist in our world, or kinds of games that focus more on roleplay than true survival. Dinosaur survival games, in my opinion, are one kind of games that truly focuses on what survival really is, which to me makes it enjoyable in a way. Of course, these kinds of games have their downsides, such as game-breaking bugs, an immature community, etc. But as my heart and mind are in the right place, a dinosaur survival game will always be enjoyable to me.
So, in conclusion, the dinosaur survival game genre is an unusually interesting topic, from its start as a Roblox game to its fascinating but buggy gameplay, and an interesting community too. We can conclude that these games will have a future for sure, but it's very unlikely to be a bright one. Hello everyone, it's me, Cap again. I'm here in the end credits thing to just thank everyone that has helped with this video. You don't know how much this video meant to me. It took like one whole damn year because one dumb motherfucker didn't fucking do anything and disappeared like 20 times. But anyways, I am so thankful this video is done. It's almost like it almost took a year. Almost a year. Fucking like the entirety of 2022, it didn't do shit. We didn't do shit. But anyways, I wanna thank fucking Broxy for actually being a person that does his stuff. I wanna thank everyone else who helped in the opinion parts. There were some people that just didn't do it, even though they said they would do it, so yeah. And then I wanna thank SirBlameson for being in the fucking video. He fucking helped with the last community section so much. Because oh my goodness, the person that had to do the community section, he was the same person that left. It's like, Jesus, I can't thank everybody enough. You're all godsends. I am honestly so thankful. Honestly. And of course, I will release this video on the 16th. Right now it's still the 15th, but whatever. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. I genuinely thank you for lasting this long. This video took so long. If you don't watch it all the way through, I will beat you up. But yeah. Anyways, this video took so long. Some of the stuff is outdated now because I know. It's just like, oh my goodness. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. I genuinely hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you all next time. Bye bye. Also, of course, special thanks to our boy Koiji, who does every thumbnail. But anyways, bye bye.